All right, today we're diving into something that could totally change the game in education. We're talking about an AI that doesn't just take a test, it actually writes the whole thing from scratch. Let's break down how this incredible piece of tech really works.
So think about this for a second. What if an AI got so smart it could ace any test you put in front of it? I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? But what if we're thinking about this all wrong? What if the true test of understanding isn't just about answering the questions? This is the real game changer. Imagine a system that can read pretty much anything, a chapter from a textbook, a dense historical article, a technical manual, and then, just like that, create a whole quiz on it automatically. It's a fascinating idea, so let's get into the nuts and bolts.
Okay, so first up, the quiz creation problem. Before we get into all the cool tech, we gotta understand why this even exists. This AI was built to solve a very real and, let's be honest, a very annoying problem.
I mean, if you're a teacher, a professor, or a corporate trainer, you know this pain. Coming up with good, fair questions that actually test what you've taught, it takes hours. It's a huge drag that pulls you away from the time you could be spending with students. And that's exactly the problem this AI is designed to fix.
Which brings us to our next section, teaching an AI to read. So how on earth do you get a machine to read a document and actually, get it? Well, the answer lies in a super powerful field of artificial intelligence.
This, right here, this is where the magic happens. Natural language processing, or NLP. You can think of it as the AI's reading brain. It's the engine that lets a computer look at our language not as just a random string of letters, but as something with structure, with context, and with actual meaning.
So how does the AI actually learn from the text? Well, it's kind of like sending the AI to grammar school, but at lightning speed. First, it chops up the text into individual sentences and words. Then it goes through and labels everything. This is a noun, that's a verb, this is an adjective. After that, it starts grouping words into key ideas like photosynthesis or the Roman Empire. And finally, this is the really clever bit, it scores every single one of those phrases to figure out which ones are the most important. It's literally learning what the main points of the text are.
All right, so that brings us to section 3, from text to test. The AI has read the material, it understands the key concepts. Now what? How does it actually turn all that knowledge into a real quiz?
So this quote peels back the curtain on the system's core logic. It's basically taking all those important key phrases it just found and plugging them into these pre-built, super smart question templates. It's almost like a game of Mad Libs for making tests, where the AI fills in the blanks with the most important facts it discovered.
And what's so cool is how incredibly versatile this is. I mean, look at this. From just one piece of information, the AI can spin up all sorts of different questions. It can ask for a straight-up definition, it can create a fill-in-the-blank, a true or false, or even a short answer question that makes you think. And it's not just making one kind of question over and over again. The whole system is built to give you a really balanced test. But here's the really clever part. For multiple choice questions, it doesn't just pull random wrong answers out of thin air. It generates what we call intelligent distractors by finding related but incorrect ideas from the text. This makes the quiz a much better test of what you actually know.
Now for section 4, more than just code. Because let's face it, a powerful AI engine isn't worth much if it's impossible to use, right? So let's take a look at how that powerful back-end brain connects to a sleek, user-friendly front end.
So you've got two sides to the coin here. On the left, you've got D-Engine. That's all the heavy-duty AI processing, the brains of the operation we've been talking about. And on the right, you've got the experience. That's the beautiful modern website that you, the user, actually get to see and play with. It's the perfect combo of brawn and beauty.
And just how fast is all this brain power? Well, it can tear through up to 5,000 words of text, we're talking about 10 pages of material, and generate a complete quiz in under 3 seconds. That is just ridiculously efficient.
And look, it's not just about speed, it's about quality. The system's questions are over 85% grammatically accurate, and it manages to cover more than 90% of the core concepts from the original text. On top of all that, it works perfectly on any device you have, whether it's a giant desktop monitor or just your phone. Okay, so this brings us to the big picture, our final section, the future of assessment. We've seen the tech, we know it's fast and smart, but what does it all mean? Why does any of this matter in the real world?
Well, the possibilities are just huge. For schools, it could save teachers an unbelievable amount of time. For online learning sites, it could create quizzes for any course on the fly. Companies could use it to test employees on new training manuals. Even students could use it for themselves, turning their study notes into their own personal practice exams.
And this isn't just some neat little academic project. It's plugging directly into one of the fastest growing industries on the planet. EdTech, or educational technology, is absolutely booming right now as everyone tries to find smarter ways to teach and learn.
And, just look at these numbers. This chart really drives it home. The market is expected to rocket past $400 billion by 2025. So tools like this automated quiz generator, they aren't just a fun idea. They're right at the heart of a massive and massively important global industry.
And that leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending thought to chew on. We've just walked through how an AI can read, understand, and then test you on a topic. So the question becomes, if an AI is smart enough to write the test, how long before it's also writing the textbook, and maybe even teaching the class? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining this Explainer.